People, Deluded, I'm back again. I hope you're all having a great weekend. Now, allegedly, Calafiori has landed in London. We've been linked with Moreno. We've been linked with Santiago Jimenez. And apparently, we've identified a new midfield target who I've actually done a tactical video on. Again, big up you lot for tuning in. If you haven't smashed the like button, please do such. Get the creative juices flowing and let me know your thoughts throughout. And also, early Sunday morning, we're watching together Arsenal against Manchester United. I will be doing a watch along, so join me on that. And this video will take you over there when this is done. But as usual, as you would know, if you're a regular viewer of the show, give me 30 seconds. I'll share my screen and we'll get straight into things, people. Again, not quite sure what's happening there, but oh, what's going on here? What's going on here? What's going on? There we go, people. I thought we was in issues there. Now, the first stop would be Eddie Nketiah. As you know, it doesn't appear that his move to Marseille or leaving the football club is imminent. You look at Smith Rowe, the fact that he didn't play in our last preseason game, and you did see Kivior, Eddie Nketiah, and Reece Nelson, all linked with moves away, play some part. We're probably a long way away from Eddie Nketiah signing for Marseille. That being said, we know he's been linked aggressively with Marseille. He's said to have agreed personal terms. Allegedly, we're holding out for a fee of 42 million. Now, many people will say Eddie can't buy a game at Arsenal. He's not worth that. And I couldn't disagree. But at the same time, he has been our first choice striker at a point. He has been capped by the country. And there has been some players that are not necessarily better than Eddie Nketiah or levels above, and they're going for decent fees. And we've got to remember he's 24, 25. And I actually prefer Arsenal to get decent fees, because we see some crazy fees for players go, and it's about time we done the same thing, people. Again, the more we can get for these players, potentially it could be reinvested where where great targets are concerned. I'm sure I speak for everyone where we've got small hope of a striker, definitely a winger. Central midfield needs to be addressed, and obviously with the Smith Rowe deal, that takes a burden off what we have to spend on Calafiori. So yeah, apparently we're holding out for 42 million. According to reports in France, people were set to command a substantial fee to allow him to join Marseille, which, let's be very honest, he'll go there, score a bunch of goals, and I'm not saying he's going to be the best striker in the world, but he will sign for whatever fee, and then they'll make a profit when they sell him back to this British market. Big up Eddie Nketiah, because Smith Rowe and Nelson, it looks like they're leaving as well, but indirectly they've both had a couple of loan spells away from the football club. Arsenal is all Eddie Nketiah is known for a while, from a young boy to a young man to a full-grown adult, and actually all the other things I said. So yeah, big up Eddie Nketiah. Hopefully we get a decent fee. We wish you all the best. France is a good league to be playing in. Marseille is a massive club. Roberto De Zerbi is a very good manager, and regular game time in which you're not going to get at Arsenal Football Club. Keeping up the theme with transfers, apparently Dan Bentley, who has been linked with us, people, has been omitted from the Wolves kit release, as the keeper continues to be linked with a move to Arsenal. So, I mean, that could be merely coincidental. You've heard rumours. We've had a couple of bids rejected. Simultaneously, you've heard rumours that Wolves want to give him a new deal. I don't know how far he is on the priority list. You'd imagine we're trying to get Calafiori, Moreno, and simultaneously getting this Dan Bentley one over the line, people. In the topic of Moreno, Barcelona has stopped the Moreno operation, and for that matter, any other midfielder, and are focusing solely on Nico Williams and maybe Dani Almo. Arsenal are the alternative option for Moreno, who are yet to make a bid. So when the Calafiori deal gets signed off, hopefully that's what we do. Charles Watson said, we know Arsenal are big admirers of Mikel Moreno. The interest is there. It's fully one I'm expecting Arsenal to push on and try and get the deal done now that Calafiori is out of the way. Keeping up the theme with midfielders, people, we've been linked with Mr. Fernandez, who's been linked with Arsenal before, and a bunch of Premier League clubs. Been linked with Arsenal obviously today, and he's actually been linked with a move to the Middle East. Now, I've done a video on him, people. I like him a lot. I think there's a lot to like about him. Of course, he might not cost that much because he's in South America, but apparently Arsenal are interested. Now, being interested and bidding are very different things. It seems like Moreno is the one Arsenal are betting on, so maybe if something goes left with Moreno, maybe that's someone we go for. Although I think a lot of us Arsenal fans would like two central midfielders, although considering Partey and Jorginho look like they're staying, you've obviously got Declan Rice, and I'm not saying I agree with it, but Martin Odegaard, Declan Rice, Kai Havertz, Fabio Vieira, they can all play in a deeper midfield role. So I don't think it's realistic to expect two, maybe one in now and one in next year, or you never know, maybe two next year. But yeah, apparently we want him again. Google Translate has not been kind to us in relation to the Boca Juniors midfielder. The footballer's environment received information that Arsenal is interested in buying, I think they mean him, in this market. The Gunners want him for the 2024-25 season, although they haven't issued a formal offer for him yet. So there isn't really a story then. You know, he could be going elsewhere and Arsenal's name could be thrown in the papers. I have no doubt, you know, we've, like every club, we've scouted wherever we can and obviously probably have an informed opinion on the individual, but we haven't placed an offer. Maybe there's been talks with his agents on the back burners, but if there is no offers, I'm not too sure. And it doesn't feel like there's really legs to that. We're always linked with him occasionally. It doesn't feel there's legs to it. Apparently, Ivan Toney has got his heart set on a move to Tottenham this summer, despite interest from Arsenal and Chelsea. Seems like Chelsea are pressing ahead with other options. Arsenal, a long time ago, seemed to have distanced themselves from Ivan Toney. So, I mean, you've got no choice but to sign for Spurs, in which, you know, you would start. And I mean, if you're Brentford, would you let him run down his contract? Because he's got a year left. Who knows where that's concerned. On the topic of Calafiori, he's on his way to London, people. He's on a private jet. All his agents are with him, people. Bit of a, you know, interesting pose, an interesting place to put your hand. But fair play, man. Calafiori, do your medical in London and let's get you off to America and hope we get to see you play against Liverpool and obviously in the Emirates Cup and so on and so forth, as long as you're at the football club. We've gone over this yesterday, so I'll check out that video. We won't talk about Thomas Partey's comments. Apparently, Spurs has a very good relationship with Chiesa's reps. They have been linked with Chiesa as well as Arsenal, Liverpool, Newcastle, and Spurs. Allegedly, that puts us on the back burners. Now, I don't think we're genuinely interested in Chiesa. We've had a historical long interest in him. Obviously, he plays and is able to play in a couple of positions that we could do with reinforcements. He's got a year left on his deal and he could be available at a cut price. And it seems like Juventus are gearing up to moving him on. He could be available allegedly for 25 to 30 million euros. That's completely forgetting about what sort of wages he would look to seek. And if you're going to sign for a Premier League club, you want decent ching ching. I like him as a footballer. You know, we all saw not this Euros, the one before that, what he could do. He's versatile. He is a good player. Unfortunately, where you think of him, you think of that ACL injury, which scares people. Allegedly, he's not in Thiago Motta's thoughts, so I'm not too sure with that. Apparently, Arsenal are interested in Victor Osimhen and Victor Gyökeres. Gyökeres we've been linked with this week, and apparently we're going to test the waters with a 60 million euro offer. We've been indirectly linked with Victor Roig of Barcelona. He's not really had an opportunity. Allegedly, we wanted him before he went there. He's been relinked with us, or better yet, this just seems a case of creative journalism as his days at Barcelona appear numbered. We can move on from that. What is this? We've been linked with Santiago Jimenez, the 23-year-old Mexican striker who got 26 goals for Feyenoord last season, which I'm sure we'd all love another player in that regards. Been linked with Spurs, Arsenal, Juventus, AC Milan, Atletico Madrid and Leipzig. Now, at this moment in time, no bids have been placed by our football club or elsewhere. So are these rumours wide of the mark? I don't know, people. Apparently, the mission for Jimenez's camp is clear: to secure an attractive offer that will persuade Feyenoord to part with their star striker. Now, I don't work for Arsenal. I don't know. Maybe we do like him. I think we've scouted him. There's probably things we do and don't like about him, but I don't think he's up there in terms of the targets. And it seems like where we're concerned, Sesko, whether it was because of his age, his fee, the market opportunity, it seemed like we was convinced to get that done. Obviously signed a new deal. I don't think there is I think there's many a striker that Arsenal like, definitely us, our fans, but I don't quite believe, people, that there is a striker that we're 100% convinced on. I hope I'm wrong, but I personally feel Calafiori, that's a left back, a central midfielder. We get a wideman and we probably park a striker off for 12 months, probably owing to Kai Havertz's form, and hoping Gabriel Jesus can get back to the top of his game, and hoping the Sakas, the Martinellis, the Trossards, and, you know, whoever wants to pop up with a goal from a set piece. Hopefully Declan Rice continues his goal scoring season. In short, the other players just picking up, you know, the slack in that regards, people. So I'm not too sure. Again, Team News and Ticks has said we're edging closer to Moreno. From what I hear, we have ramped up efforts recently and we believe the player's chosen us. The only caveat is players will sometimes say one thing to you and then promise another. We've seen and heard that before, and he wouldn't be the first or the last time, and clubs do the same thing. In relation to Gabriel Jesus, people were braced for bids allegedly for him, but we're not looking to sell him this summer. Really hope the 27-year-old who has 3 years left on his deal can remind people of his ability. I don't really think this is anything necessarily new to us. In relation to Mikel Arteta, allegedly the club are relaxed about the situation despite his contract expiring in 2025. I personally think he signed a new deal and we're just waiting for official announcement. But apparently Arteta is believed to want to remain, and Arsenal wish to keep the Spaniard, who has obviously done quite well for us since joining us in December of 2019. But until it's obviously, you know, signed and sealed and there's been pen to paper, who knows what's going on. Allegedly Arsenal are not panicking, but the longer the talks go on, the more frantic the Arsenal board could become to keep Arteta at the helm. People, I just think it's a case of it will get done. I think, you know, Arteta knows he's got a sweet gig at our football club. Of course, he's probably wanted by a lot of managers. Again, I'm not trying to belittle him, but despite the fact that he hasn't won a Prem or a Champs or anything of significance, in terms of the rebuild and the innovation and the tactics and all them aspects, it seems like he's being used as a guide point for many a club. You look at Ten Hag, you look at what Chelsea are doing, etc., and he will go off to be a great manager. I don't expect him to do a Sir Alex Ferguson or an Arsene Wenger. You know, at best maybe a Klopp or Pep in terms of length, but hopefully we can win stuff. So I'm confident about Arteta signing a new deal, but I'm just someone talking on YouTube with you lot, so anything can happen. Let me know your thoughts on everything discussed, people. Check out the rest of the content. As I said, we're watching Arsenal against Manchester United later this today. I say today, it's technically Sunday morning. If you can't be there, smash the like button on not only this vid but that vid. Make sure you're checking my description, people. There's award nominations. Make sure you're voting for the guy. Most importantly, your support is appreciated. You lot stay safe, stay blessed. Peace.